So allow me to explain here what the situation is, because when chat won with the Magic, of course, we went through a couple of logo changes for the Magic. I said, let's take a break for a little bit, right? But the allure of the Kobe era is just, it's too damn strong. It's too damn strong. So what I did, allow me to showcase this here, is I had mentioned before that there was a great custom roster for the Kobe era, made right here by AJ the Gamer BR. Very good update. However, it did need to be edited a little bit to at least try to not make the roster so screwed up. Admittedly, there are still the contract issues that you can't fix with editing. It's just going to be up on 2K's side of things to have to fix it. But I was able to go through and kind of mess with some contracts. I actually went back and I found an ESPN article from 2003 that talked about the upcoming free agents. So there were players whose contracts should not have been expiring. And if someone would have been an RFA, I think the primary example in that is Tony Parker. I just extended Tony Parker's contract, and that way he won't be a free agent. So it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it is usable. So we are going to go for it, as we should. The Kobe era. Can I upload my roster? Yes, I will literally do it right now. I will literally do it right now. Because why not? And then, God, yeah, here, let's literally, do this, the Kobe era. If I hit back, save and share roster. Let's see, the name for the file will just be, oh God, if I could type. Name of the file will just be Toogie. Do we still get LeBron? Probably not. I think it's going to be a clean restart, and let's be honest, you might still get him anyway. And you don't necessarily need him. You're 2-0 so far. It was AJ the Gamer BR, right? Because it was his base roster. He was the one to put in the work, and he deserves full credit. Absolutely deserves full credit. He added in the missing players, Chris Webber, Reggie Miller. Those guys are all going to be in for our restarted Kobe era head-to-head. So, worth noting as well, everything's still automated. I did end up running with the idea that I told you I would probably do. I don't remember where to find it. I have completely dropped off the draft class quality, so it'll put more emphasis on computer, or less emphasis on computer-generated players, more emphasis on the real players that are there, which is nice because that just means some of those guys will actually develop a little bit better, as they should. But for the most part, you guys know this this situation and this setup. We will take a look at the rosters and everything. But I am in control of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you guys, of course, as chosen previously, will be in control of the Denver Nuggets. Shout out to a 2006 lottery protected first. And the 02-03 season, these were the worst two teams. And again, a reminder of the draft ahead that I had god-awful luck with when I was in control of the Timberwolves. But yeah, I'm excited. So as you can see, there's literally one computer-generated dude now in the top 10, and that's Tyrone King. One dude. So this should work out pretty damn well. I'm excited for this. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but I am excited in thinking that this should at least be usable. It won't necessarily be perfect in that regard. Give me an NHL team to do a franchise mode. Isn't the Bruins or the Kraken? Buffalo. So yes, in this original run, Chat ended up with, well, you shouldn't have gotten LeBron, but you got a terrible trade offer to get him. So I do feel bad in a sense that, like, okay, I'm not going to guarantee you LeBron this time out. At the same time, you're up 2-0. You're up 2-0 in this series. If you get him, you get him. If you don't, well, fuck it. I need a fighting chance, apparently, because Jesus. But a reminder of what the teams look like. My Cleveland Cavaliers are pretty shit. Ilgauskas, Ricky Davis, up the contract for Carlos Boozer. That way he doesn't walk away very early on. And again, a lot of dudes that 2K doesn't have the rights to. AJ the Gamer BR. His roster file does rename a lot of people. And it also edits a lot of those shit contracts. Like Michael Stewart's only a 1-year deal. Wayne Collins isn't making $12 million over 2 years, you know? So it got rid of a lot of those. But yeah, shout out to Desanya Shop, Smush Parker, future head coach of Vinny Del Negro. So yeah, that is what my starting Cavs team looks like for you and the Nuggets, your old friends, Juwan Howard and Marcus Camby. Because of course. Also added in, thanks to this custom roster, is Nene. Nene is in. So you guys will have Nene this time, which is awesome. The Birdman, of course, Chris Anderson's kicking around. A lot of younger players on this team, but like I said, I went through a real ESPN article from almost 20 years ago just to make sure that dudes who were supposed to have expiring deals, unless they were an RFA like Adam Harrington, he ends up staying. But guys like Cedric Henderson, Shamond Williams. I also made some moves that had happened by the end of this year, and you'll see what I mean by that in a second. But let's take a look around the Indiana Pacers. Jermaine O'Neal, who was actually scheduled to be a free agent. Reggie Miller is in. He'll be a Pacer for at least the first year. Ron Artest is in. So, again, very happy with this roster file. Pacers also got Al Harrington, Brad Miller, Jeff Foster. But you see pretty much the big names. Magic legend, Austin Crozier, Tim Hardaway, kicking around. The Detroit Pistons with Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, my God. Now, no, the Pistons don't have Rasheed. They hadn't traded for him yet. So they don't have Rasheed Wallace yet. The missing piece is not on the team. They do have Tayshaun Prince, though. Very young Tayshaun Prince. And a very, very old Danny Manning. Yeah, that Pistons squad is still primed to be very, very good. The Toronto Raptors with Vince Carter, Antonio Davis, and not much else. They got Rafer Alston. That's about it. That's about it for the Toronto Raptors. That was not a very good team. And some kind of minor players had to be moved around here and there to make this roster work. So it's not 100% accurate, but it'll do. Houston Rockets with Yao Ming's gigantic face. Stevie Franchise, Katino Mobley, James Posey. This team's not that bad. Eddie Griffin's there, not the comedian. So the Rockets, not looking that bad. Will they be able to win another NBA title? We'll find out. San Antonio, now, fun fact, Tim Duncan was actually a free agent after this real-life season. Obviously, he stayed with the Spurs. But Tim Duncan will be on the free agent market more than likely in season 1. And again, we extended the Tony Parker contract. But Steven Jackson also going to be a free agent off of that team. So I'm really intrigued to see kind of how the Spurs play this off. Steve Kerr, Kevin Willis, both very, very old at this stage. Very old indeed. Phoenix with Stephon Marbury, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire, Penny Hardaway still kicking around in the league, of course. A younger Joe Johnson. I like this Suns team quite a bit. Obviously, IRL, like getting Steve Nash is what really put them over the top. But the Phoenix Suns looking pretty good. And then the Sonics. This is the big change. I went ahead and put forth the trade that happened at the end of this season where Ray Allen got traded from Milwaukee to Seattle. Makes it more interesting, in my opinion, to see Ray Allen on the Sonics with Rashard Lewis, with Brent Barry. Kevin Ollie there as well. So that's probably the one big change that I elected to make was moving old Ray Allen out to Seattle. Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett, Sam Cassell was also a part of another trade that I put in that it shouldn't have happened at the start of the season, but it happened by the end of it. Wally Zerbiak. They got 3 great players and then nothing else around them is pretty much the best way to sum it up. Kendall Gill wasn't what he used to be around this time. But the Timberwolves, they're not my problem anymore. Trailblazers with Rasheed Wallace, Scottie Pippen, Derek Anderson, Bonzi Wells, a very young Zach Randolph, Damon Stoudemire. So NBA got fixed. Not entirely. I put in some work to make it more acceptable, but it's not. They didn't fix shit yet, which is ridiculous because this game's been out for, about a month? Golden State, Antoine Jamison, Gilbert Arenas, who did end up being a free agent, but at the same time, it would have been, I believe, RFA status. And since I can't get the game to replicate that at the start of the Kobe era, we added term onto Gilbert Arenas' contract. Jay Rich. Fucking Jay Rich. He was unbelievable. It is a created roster, nearly, yes. Eric Dampier. Dunleavy. Honestly, this Warriors team isn't that bad. Bob Sura kicking around. Yuri Welch, Celtics legend. The Wizards, Michael Jordan. Jerry Stackhouse, Larry Hughes, Christian Laettner, Brendan Haywood. But yeah, MJ is here. Will he retire at the end of season 1? Don't know, but shout out to Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Kicking around. Sixers have Allen Iverson, Keith Van Horn, Eric Snow. It's a team. It's Allen Iverson and his band of merry, merry men. But now we got Samuel Dalembert in this save. So the Bucks have Gary Payton, Michael Redd, Tony Kukoc, and couple of the pieces here and there. Nothing too crazy. Brisbilla's there. But yeah, not much too crazy there from Milwaukee. Chicago, rough times for the Bulls. Jalen Rose, Donnell Marshall, a young Tyson Chandler, Jamal Crawford, Eddie Curry at 19. Look at Eddie Curry. What a man. What a man. But yeah, not a great time for the Bulls. Not a great time. Of course, we already talked about my Cavs, the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics. With good old Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, Tony Delk. Look at the drop-off between Pierce and Walker. Super young Vin Baker, though. Walter McCarty. Bimbo Coles. But yeah, this Celtics team was not great. It was not great. Good Lord. The Clippers, honestly, a pretty fucking good young team. They're the team that probably gets screwed over more than anybody else with the state of the game right now in the Kobe era. Like I said, not properly factoring in RFA status or qualifying offers. Because if you don't edit the rosters, Elton Brand's deal is up at the end of the year. Lamar Odom's deal is up at the end of the year. Corey Maggetti's deal is up at the end of the year. Quentin Richardson's deal is up at the end of the year. Which means you might as well just fucking cut that team off at the knees. Not that Donald Sterling deserved anything more than that, but you get the point. Also, shout out to Cherokee Parks and Michael Olowokandi. Now that's a team. Now that's a team. Also, Kean Dooling, who I haven't thought about probably in 20 years. But what a player. The Grizz, Pau Gasol, Shane Battier, Mike Miller, who, again, with 2K's provided roster, he'll hit free agency immediately. I don't know why Lorenzen Wright has an 8-year deal, but I left it, so fuck it. It'll make it interesting that someone has an 8-year deal. But, yeah, like I said, a modified custom roster that was already out there. And I'm hoping that, again, we can at least hold off on the randomness happening for long enough that it can make this run interesting. Hawks with Abdur Rahim, Jason Terry, Glenn Robinson, Theo Ratliff, Sierra Muhammad. It drops off pretty badly. I mean, no disrespect to Dan Dickau, of course. It's Dan Dickau. But, no disrespect, of course. Let's see. The Miami Heat with Eddie Jones, whose deal is up at the end of the year. Lonzo Mourning's deal is up at the end of the year, but they got Caron Butler. We'll see if he ends up being better for them than he was for me. Because for me, he was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Ryan Grant, Magic Legend. Shout out to Max for the 16 beautiful months. Max, appreciate you. How are you tonight? You guys get a look there. In fairness, I don't know if Eddie Jones' deal was supposed to be up either. I think it was supposed to be Eddie House's. So that might be a mistake. Am I allowed to edit Eddie Jones' contract? I think that might have been a mistake. I might have accidentally dropped his contract. I might have accidentally dropped his contract and Eddie House's. Or Eddie, yeah. So keep that in mind. You might want to fix that. The New Orleans Hornets, Jamal Mashburn, Baron Davis, PJ Brown, David Wesley. It's honestly not that bad. Jamal McGlure. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. J Rose with the 70 bits there too, by the way. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Utah with 2 scumbags. Andre Karolinko, though, again, I don't know why he doesn't show up in the Jordan era, but he is here in the Kobe era. So I'm excited about that. Copper Chaney, Greg Ostertag, Magic Legend. Magic Legend. Mark Jackson's there. It does kind of drop off a little bit. Green's custom roster to make it more bearable. They didn't fix anything. At least not yet. But I wanted to run with it. Sacramento, again, one of the big names that gets added in. Chris Webber. Beautiful. I mean, look at this. Look at this team, man. Weber, Peja, Bibby, Christie, fucking Bobby Jackson, Vlade Divac. I mean, come on. Hito's there. Like, what a team. The only thing that can stop them is bad officiating. Damon Jones, Lawrence Funderbeck, Magic Legend Jim Jackson. The New York Knicks, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell. That just makes me sad after my Timberwolves run. This was not a great Knicks team at all. Michael Doliak was there, though. They got that going for him. The LA Lakers with Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. Like, it really is the 2-star players in their band of merry men. It really, really was. But they do have a young Gennaro Pargo. Since when have the Knicks ever had a great team? 94? They just ran into a better team. The Magic with Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, Drew Gooden, and not much else. Horace Grant's there. He's ancient. Sean Kemp's there. Good luck winning anything with Sean Kemp, as I learned. But that's what the Magic looks like now that they're out of your control. The Mavericks with Dirk, Steve Nash, Michael Finley, Nick Van Exel, Rafe LaFrance, Sean Bradley, he's huge. Raja Bell. Pretty damn good Mavericks team, man. Pretty good Mavericks team. Also Popeye Jones. Good old Popeye Jones. The New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year. That's horrifying to me. Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittles. And of course, as always, Sexton Mutombo. Damn it. What a meme. What a meme that was developed here, huh? And who doesn't love Brian Scalabrine? You know? So that is a look at the Kobe era with our slightly modified rosters to try and fix 2K's shortcomings. Hopefully, maybe potentially this will run as smoothly as I hope that it will.